There are similarities between the language of architecture and psychology. Their common point of origin is ideas. A psychologist turns ideas into words. The architect turns them into space. Another important starting point is human experience. A psychological home and architectural home are two aspects of the same basic existence. Both are considered fundamental and essential for people's wellness and well-being. Architecture and psychology are both dealing with mind and spirit. Each of them is both science and an art form. Architectural design influences human behavior through its arrangement. Once we realize how a structure's layout affects our sensations, energy, and quality of life. By understanding how a design affects people's behavior, we can alter their moods and perceptions to the extent of affecting their mental state and well-being. If we take a moment to review the world of psychology, we can discover pathological situations directly related to architecture and space. Claustrophobia indicates fear of closed spaces, such as windowless rooms, small and cramped places, dark rooms, and low ceilings. Agoraphobia is a fear of unfamiliar places, a disorder characterized by phobia of places where a person feels he might get caught or won't get help in case of an emergency. So people might avoid open places, fear unfamiliar spaces, to the point of refraining from new places that feel unsafe altogether. Obsessive hoarding is a type of mental disorder that causes people to obsessively store and collect various objects and items, often without real use or value. OCD, obsessive-compulsive disorder, is often characterized by repeated ritualistic actions, fixations on the locations of objects and their order, difficulty adjusting to changes, including changes in space. Winter depression, which we also know as the winter blues, can develop due to shortened exposure to sunlight, especially in the early morning. One of the treatments is exposure to light, and now it is already known that symptoms of non-seasonal depression also improve with exposure to bright light. Let's see what we can do in our space to improve our psychological state. High ceilings provide a sense of spaciousness and comfort. If you're planning a house from scratch, you should make sure that the ceiling height in the main space exceeds 10 feet, approximately 3 meters. But let's say you have a given height. If the ceilings in the house you live in are low, a surprising trick to create a sense of height would be lowering the ceilings in part of the space so the central area feels higher. Additionally, dividing the space into smaller sub-areas creates the illusion of a proportionally higher ceiling. We will also add vertical lines, contributing to the length dimension. Think of a chimney or a tall cabinet. Wish to avoid the winter blues? Allow your brain to produce normal melatonin levels while retaining enough serotonin by letting plenty of natural light come in through the openings. Be sure to plant shades for windows facing direct sunlight to prevent glare, yet avoid closing blinds or curtains, which might darken the room. Let your body synchronize with natural light and reduce overexposure in the evenings and nights. Although most of us are not pathologically diagnosed as compulsive hoarders, we can sometimes find ourselves somewhere on this disorder's scale. It is highly recommended to declutter objects that do not serve us. For example, if we haven't used something for over 3 years, if our space feels cluttered and chaotic, if we hold on to an object because we're afraid of shortage and not because it evokes positive feelings, then we must clear out these objects from our lives. Renovations and moving are great opportunities to release unnecessary items. And don't cheat. Avoid keeping closed cartons in the storage. Did you know colors evoke emotions? Colors are a powerful tool in interior design. Let's talk about how it happens in a psychological context. Let's learn to portray the emotions that colors evoke. Starting with blue. Deep, bold shades of blue are great for boosting self-confidence and are associated with values like loyalty, trust, and success. Lighter shades of blue inspire calmness and serenity, making them perfect for bedrooms, bathrooms, and spaces where you wish to relax. The red color is a dramatic, stimulating color. Emotions associated with it would be passion, excitement, energy, ambition, activity, willpower, and more. Choosing red for creative spaces or workspaces like offices will be very productive. It's important to remember not to overdo it and produce a restless, loud room. Gray is a type of color that suits different personality types. In color psychology, this hue is considered to have a positive effect on self-confidence, intelligence, and stability. Gray would also be an ideal choice when we want to evoke feelings of calmness and wholeness. Therefore, it is especially suitable for homes of families with young, excited children. As of any color, result depends on how color tones and hues are used. It can be a subtle, gentle, and safe shade, or accentuated, vibrant color. In color psychology, purple is associated with an abundance of wonderful emotions, from wisdom and creativity to fantasy and nobility. The color looks great in feminine spaces, but deeper shades can also be incredibly masculine. Purple carries a majestic charm and offers a sense of luxury, allowing it to bring a real presence to the space. It can be used for intimate rooms as well to a welcoming foyer. Psychologically, white is a background, a color that doesn't draw attention and is a safe and supposedly absent choice. Its advantage is that it can illuminate dark spaces and transmit calmness and peacefulness. In all areas of life, black is the safe color. We escape to it when we don't know what to wear or what color to choose. Its neutrality gives it somewhat a safe quality, and despite the inversion, it bears much resemblance to the color white by being neutral. It has a big presence, offering a great deal of sophistication. When properly used, it can convey power, drama, and mystery. Of course, there are many more examples of the connections between psychology, human behavior, and the space in which we live. Design affects the feelings, mood, and inner state of us all. So remember, when you go about designing your home, you're actually shaping your own life. Good luck!